If anybody can hear me out there, just let me know so I can make sure the sound's okay. Since I'm testing this new OBS. Trying a whole new operating system to see if I can get it to sound better and do better. I got a race at Nurburgring tomorrow night, Saturday night in Pan Am. It's the last race of the season, of this winter season. I was figuring to do some practice and to see how this works as far as the OBS. Doing a lot of messing around with it, setting it up, and just doing a bunch of stuff, trying to see if it'll work. Oh, let's see what we can do with this. See if I can help out the setup at all. But yeah, if anybody gets on here, let me know if the quality's okay as far as the video and the audio. Since it's, like I said, I'm trying out this new stream with the OBS. So see if it works. So I figured I might as well do this to see if it works. So, try some different stuff. I got a long way to go here on the setup. Need to practice also anyway. Try this out and see what we have. So if anybody's can hear me, hopefully you can hear me all right. I hope, like I said, let me know if the video and the audio is okay. Like I said, I got a race here at Nurburgring tomorrow night in Pan Am, and I haven't done any practice here at Nurburgring at all. And we'll get through there. See how it goes through here. Can anybody hear me out there? I hope they can. Way too wide. Adjust my brake bias. Forgot to do that. Alright, let's go around again. See what tire pressures are. Pretty good through there, through the Schumacher S's, but like I said, I don't. Got a long way to go as far as improving on this. See if we can do anything in here. Oh, I know. Another thing I gotta change. I got just remember something else I gotta change on the setup. My pressures aren't too far off. And need to be a little bit of adjustments. Dang, lost it all. That's better. You do better than that, but can anybody hear me out there? I said trying this new OBS, trying to see if it works, but any better as far as quality, as far as sound. I know the GeForce Experience I've always been using since the beginning has, had a lot of sound, crackling and things, and so I'm trying to improve it. Tire wear is not too bad. Pretty good. Try a little bit more. Again, you run a lot of negative toe. It kind of makes you have to go more with the negative camber. Seems like they go hand in hand. Same thing with less. When you run less negative toe, it seems like you don't have to run as much negative camber, but to get the spread between the inner and the outer seems to go, like I said, they kind of just go hand in hand. Thank you, Frank, for letting me know. I just hopefully it's a lot better than what I've been working on it most of the day. Doing recordings and doing test recordings and streams, trying to get it to sound better. Well, it looked good before. I really think that, I don't think I can improve upon the looks. But I mean, OBS, so many settings, it's so much more complicated than GeForce. Trying to get it to where it's still 1440p, but has good quality and things like that, and on a stream, and of course on 4K and recording. Thank you. Hopefully they work good. At least hopefully they give you a good base, I mean, that's what the main thing is, giving a good, everybody's driving style is a little different, but just like this here, I got some setups here for Nurburgring for the Porsche here, but I mean, again, this is going to be, I'm trying to make it, even better. So again, I'm always trying to improve upon stuff. I try to do some different things with this to try to get it to be a little bit better. Try a couple different things. I need to check this also as far as the dampers. Come back and do another run. Oh, this is what I want to check. I've been doing my brake power. I've been trying to stay out of the ABS, so I'm actually cutting it down to like 95. So far, I've been trying that at different places, and it doesn't seem to hurt anyway. Braking is still just as good, but I'm just trying to maybe stay out of the ABS so it doesn't engage the ABS as bad. So I'm trying that too, something new on all my stuff. Yeah, I need to actually go and do that Nissan for the Red Bull Ring. It's really pretty much done. I just got to just double check it. I really need to get that done as far as just make it a setup and post it. It's really done because I messed with it a week ago or so, that and some other cars at Red Bull Ring, and I think I just need to go over it and maybe go over Motec with it, just to make sure the shocks are dialed in. But other than that, it's pretty much the balance is there. It's done. It's pretty much done. But yeah, just let me know. Make sure this, like I said, I'm just making sure the video and the audio is okay, and y'all can see everything okay, and the sound's okay, and just all those kinds of things, as far as the car and my mic, and it's clear, and like before the GeForce, it sound okay, then you get these little gremlins and the crackle, and just, I don't know. All kinds of crazy stuff. No problem, Frank. I appreciate it. You take care of yourself. Feels a little better. See if we can get any better lap time out of it. Real wide. Yeah, remember, tires aren't going to come in. Oh, dang it, I forgot to mess with the brake bias again. Forgot to adjust that in the setup. I'll just do it here. Awesome. If I could get rid of that, you want to believe how hard it is to get rid of that dang bug I had with audio for so many, how long? Thought I'd get rid of it and come back, and so I just decided to go a whole new operating system with the OBS. That's what most people use anyway. Just a lot more complicated. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than GeForce. GeForce Experience from Nvidia is old, but I mean, I just always used it. But I think most gamers use OBS. Feels good through there. know. Might still need that sway bar back in it. Acts like it's not wanting to rotate out mid-off. Probably one more. Too wide, too deep. A little better. That same pace. I don't know, it just feels a little loose. Yeah, I've been working on this setup most of the time. Yeah, my wheel's playing games now. Another thing I gotta do is mess with this wheel. I've been having all kinds of technical issues lately. See if this will... Steering wheel's wanting to zone out. I'm working on things to try to see if I can get that fixed too. Just, I don't know, one of those things where it just seems like a little this and a little that keeps wanting to mess around. Those gremlins. See, it's got to knock this down. What was the tire wear? I didn't even look at it. Yeah, it's not too bad. So you still got a pretty close spread up at the top, even increasing it up to all the way to the max. That's like I said. It seems like it does that when you run a lot of tow. When you run a lot of negative tow, it closes these wear up, so it makes you have to run more negative camber. And equal when you run less, it's that way too. So I mean, like if I ran less negative camber, I think it would spread. This would spread. Or I mean, less negative tow. I mean, it would spread these numbers out. So it seems like they go hand in hand. These are about perfect here. These are just about, they are perfect in the back. So let's see what Motec says. Where's my Motec? Not it. There we go. Had to find it. Hey, John. Congrats on winning the race today. I saw that you won. Oh, great job. Too much. Like I said, just checking Motec out. Guess it's not going to show that, so it's just still staying on my thing, so it's not showing my desktop. So it's not showing it even though I'm looking at it. So excuse me that for a second. I guess I'll probably have to make an adjustments on OBS to show the desktop. It's not showing it, so but I am looking at it. So let me make a few adjustments off of this. Looks like the rebound is a little high. The like they're about the same. Like that needs to be increased though. Bump stops need to be up a little bit. So we'll try this out. Up a little bit on this. See if that helps at all. Been practicing on the. I was doing that earlier when I was testing OBS. You know, kind of. I was doing some at Imola for the E-Seniors race tomorrow, doing some testing for that. Trying to get the car just decent pace. I don't, you know, again, I don't think I'll be with the front runners, but if I can be in the, you know, decent, I'll be all right. Felt pretty good there. Unfortunately, the Porsche isn't the best as far as going over all those big bumps at Imola. Not compared to like the Aston Martin. Aston Martin is like, that's like you don't even know they're there. It just runs right over them. Unbelievable how good that Aston Martin is. But the Porsche is just not that way, so. But try to make it, you know, at least halfway decent. Yeah, I lifted the rear end up one click. I don't know if it needs it or not. Just trying it. Takes a little while to get tires going. A little better through there. Dang it! Just blew it. Do one more. I don't think I need it to lift the rear end up one. Should have done that the last time. Ah, too deep. Tires need to come down. Yeah, I just didn't drive good there. I had 2 good laps going and blew both of them. Tires need to come back down. That's okay. Hopefully everything's going good. Ted, hopefully got the OBS working okay. I mean, I need to still always, I'm sure more tweaks need to be done, but you know, the recording seemed okay. I did some test recordings, and again, I did a lot of test streams, but I mean, I just did private, so I mean, I just rewatched it myself to see if it was okay, and it seemed all right. So then that's why I'm doing this, testing a stream. As I used to use GeForce Experience, and it was okay. It was really simple, but you know, I had a lot of quality issues as far as the audio. So that's where I'm hoping this is a lot clearer and I sound good. I don't have all the crackles and distortions and things like that. But like I said, it's a lot more complicated to get set up than GeForce Experience, where you just basically hit go and that's it. This, you have all these pages and all these settings, and it's just a lot more complicated. Well, thank you for the feedback, because I mean that's what I'm. Main thing is really to have the. Again, the video sounded really good on the GeForce Experience, but the audio was always had issues. I've had issues with the audio forever, and I tried to go to OBS, but the quality was horrible. I couldn't do anything with it. But I've been, you know, watching some videos, just like, you know, trying to figure it out, watching a bunch of different stuff and making adjustments. You know, tuning it as far as all the settings, trying to get it, you know, the quality to be okay and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Well, that's where basically just want, you know, the video to be good and my audio to be good too. So, probably should have done it a long time ago. It just takes so much time. It's just like today, it's taken me half the day, you know, messing around doing this stuff, just trying to get it to work. All right, let's get a few laps in here. I don't think I've messed with the shocks. I don't think I have, but you use Prism, John? I didn't check that one out. I checked a couple other ones out. I used a couple other ones, but I didn't like it. And so I know OBS is really popular with a lot of a lot of gamers and sim racers. So I just figured but man, yeah, I mean, you're talking about night and day difference. I mean, as far as messing with it, I'm not talking about the. It's just the setup of it. I mean, GeForce is basically you just hit start. You know, there's like 2 or 3 different things that but that's it. I mean, it's so simple. I mean, it really is. beginner friendly. But the quality, like I said, the audio, I'd have issues once in a while, and I tried, you know, I've done so many things trying to improve it with a microphone and a mixer and all this stuff, and I still had some audio issues. And then you know, I tried OBS, but it's just literally, you know, page after page of setup. So it's a lot different trying to get it set up. As far as tire pressures, you know, I try to run higher 26s really at some places. I might run lower some places that aren't fast. Like if you have a tighter track, I might run lower 26s. It depends on the track. But it also depends on like the curbings. I won't do that at Imola. I'm not at, you know, any places you're running the curbings really hard, I run higher, because if you run lower, you're gonna knock the air right out of the tires, and then you're gonna start losing grip, and you're gonna put up, the heater is gonna build up in the tire. So I just don't. I usually, you know, a lot of it depends on the track itself. Yeah, I don't show it, but I've been, well, I mean, streaming wise, I haven't been doing it. I don't know. I kind of was neglected to do the streaming part. Just for the fact that, you know, I just didn't do it. And, you know, new thing that wasn't, you know, comfortable doing it. So it took me a while to get to do it. But you know, I like doing it now because I like, you know, getting involved, you know, more the merrier, and so I really enjoy it now. But the thing I didn't enjoy is, you know, having technical issues. You know, that's the kind of blew it, because then you're you know, nobody's gonna like it because, you know, the video's bad, the audio's bad, or this is bad, and nobody wants to watch it. So, you know, then I started getting frustrated with that because now that's not working, and it's just. But as far as doing the channel, I mean, I've been doing my channel since a long time. Since ACC's been out. So I started right before then. I did models first. I started with some doing my models that I like, you know, racing the car models that I get, die cast and the resin models and all those kinds of things. But I have those on there, but on my channel too, I do those, but not as often. I started with that, but then I've been doing the sim racing since ACC started. Matter of fact, my first video was a Project Cars 2 video. And then once I started getting into ACC, I just fell in love with it. I just love it. At least I hope so. I got over 6,000 hours, so I guess I do. I guess you can call me an ACC fanboy. It's a really good track. It's not, you know, super high speed, but it's just really good flowing. I like it because it's really flowing. You get that one tight turn, but that's really it. There's no chicanes. Guys running a little bit lower pressure on this track, I think. I can't remember what gear I used to there. This is PC. But the setups work the same for either, so one setup is good for either one. Too deep. Oh, thank you. Hope they work good for you. I knew I was going to like this track. I mean, Red Bull Ring is just... I was happy they came out with this. I think we can do better this next time. Tire pressure's a little high. That's consistent. I mean, it's running within a few hundreds every time. That's me. The car's more consistent than I am. Need to knock the pressures down just a teeny bit. But there. I go down a couple there. Couple there. Couple there. Yeah, it's still 100, but actually I'm going to lower it down because I'm doing that on all my setups. I haven't noticed on any track that I've been to that it's hurt my braking performance. So, if anything, I think it does help a teeny bit, and I think it's mainly just because I'm not getting into the ABS as hard. So again, that might be a personal preference. So you can go to 100, but you know, if you notice that you're kind of getting into the ABS a lot, it might help you to knock some of that brake power down. So, and that way, is, you know, you don't mind the ABS helping out a little bit, you know, the ABS kicking in a teeny bit, but you don't want it to where it's just, you're all over it. So. Well, the GTR isn't all-wheel drive in GT3, so it's just rear wheel. Yeah, they don't allow any all-wheel drive cars in GT3 racing. So, I mean, because if you look at it, the Audi, the Audi is all-wheel drive, and on the street car, so is the Lamborghini, so is the Huracan. At least there's a lot of models that are all-wheel drive, and of course, obviously, the GTR is all-wheel drive, but they don't have it all-wheel drive in the GT3 class because that's not allowed. So. Because otherwise, they would be doing it. Because definitely an advantage for sure if they had all-wheel drive, even though it is a little heavier. But you make up for it with especially slick tracks or rain by far. It'd be a killer. So again, you can't see me. It's something that I guess I got to adjust with my OBS. But I'm checking my Motec on the shocks here. As I want to see how far they're out. Let's see, I got, no, they're not real bad. A little off. They're a little off. I think it's more competitive now than it was before the update by far. I mean, it's, the times I've been running, it's back, kind of close. It's not far off. It's really, the McLaren is still out front, and the Ferraris, pretty far up too. Those are probably two favorites. I think a lot of it, though, is just the drivability. If you look at, especially the Ferrari, you drive, John. It's, just like the Maserati, it's a very driver-friendly car, and the friendlier you can get a car to drive, the faster you can be in that car. That's one reason the Porsche is not real bad, but it's not the easiest car to drive, so that makes it a kind of a killer on as far as the performance end of it. You really got to be able to drive it good to get it out of it. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. Let's see here. They're a little bit different setting. It looks like the one side is different from the other, so I'm definitely going to have to do one corner at a time with this. Well, the reason the GTR understeer is so bad is the weight. Now, if you look at the 15 to the 18, take a look at those two cars. They are two totally different, even though they're the same. They're the same model car, but they're like two totally different cars. And we'll go look at that here in a second. I'll show you if you hang on just a few minutes. I'll show you some of the differences that you can actually see between the two cars, big time. And then they did a lot of changes between the 15 and the 18. Nissan did to make the car more competitive. And a lot of it's air. It's just mainly all aero and weight. I mean, everything else, that motor and everything else is the same. Lock that down. Whoops, sorry. Everything's the wrong car for you, Stu, unless it's a Porsche. I already know that with you. But I gotta be versatile. This really needs to go down more. That needs to come down. That's another thing I noticed. If you have too much bump in it, if you have too much bump in any of these shocks, it'll help. It'll make the car understeer. So, I mean, if you have a little, if it's just a teeny bit of understeer, you know, that's why a lot of guys, if you see a lot of setups, they're down to 0. But I mean, it seems like that with ACC. But you'll see that if I noticed that if you have a little bit more bump or fast bump, it'll give you a little bit of understeer in the car. So again, you know, you gotta tune that down a little bit. These are about equal on this. So I'm gonna take this. Will give it a little bit more turn in too. Just taking some of that out. That's not too bad there. Take that there, but take that down there. And this needs to come down a bunch. There. Had to knock that way down. Matter of fact, I'll go down and leave one more. Just a little teeny bit extra. It was pretty far out. The bump on the rear was pretty far out. So, any console users out there that watch this video later, you see I got 25.8, 26.3, 25.5, 26, -2, camber -3.8, caster at 18.5, toe on the rear is positive 0.05 with the camber at -3.4. Electronics are 2, 1, and 1. 55 liters. You see the wear. It's really good. Actually, the wear. See, it's got a nice little spread. Nothing dramatic. That's just about how I like it. So it's actually, the wear is really good. Mechanical got 4 on the anti-roll bar. Brake power, like I said, I'm pretty much cutting everything down to about 95, no lower than that. Brake bias is 60.1. You can go down to 59, about 58, 59. Wheel rate's 166,000 on the front with a 1,000 bump stop rate and a 3 bump stop range. And on the rear, the springs are 136,000 with a 500 bump stop rate and a 20 bump stop range. Anti-roll bars 4, preload 120. On the Nissan, I usually run a little bit more preload just because you have that turbo hit and it's got a lot of mid-range torque, and it seems like it's always like that coming off the corner. So I want to make sure that the car doesn't get, you know, an oversteery type situation. So I usually run 1 or 2 clicks more in the diff than I do most other cars. Shocks, you got 12, 10, 22, and 17 on the left front, 12, 10, 18, and 17 on the right front, and 5, 5, 18, and 20 on the left rear, and 5, 5, 15, and 20 on the right rear. Aero all the way down on the front, 62 in the rear with a maxed out wing and a 4 and a 4 and the brake ducts. And of course the Nissan, you know, like I said with this, you have to, you know, you only have 4 settings on the wing, so that means every setting is huge. I think at the Monza setting I had 3. So again, and I was running some, you know, I was running decent lap times. I mean, I ran in the 47s. That wasn't that bad. And I mean, really right where the Porsche was. I mean, I was running high 47s, low 48s with race pace. So that's about where I am in the Porsche. So again, you know, you got to get the car to hook up. So I mean, that's the thing with the Nissan. As far as with all the power, you wanted the car to be able to hook up. So again, I will leave a link to this setup in the description and on my Discord. Whoops. Go. I am on PC. Why am I not on? Why would you think I'm not on PC? I am on PC. I had to go by car by car. I mean, there's some cars I run zero. Some cars I don't. I just go whatever Motec tells me. And some cars are different. Some cars you got, some cars you're running more, and some cars you don't. It's just they're all different. I mean, they really are. I mean, everything's a little bit different. But let's take a look. I mean, you look at here. Okay, one thing I want you to notice is the front of the car. So you see, you only got the one canards, right? Let's get rid of that. You only have the one canards on the front, right? That's all you see, and the way the hood is, right? And another thing I want you to pay attention to is look at the brakes, okay? So you got the AP brakes, but let's see how the caliper is on the rear part of here, okay? So that's one thing you can see with this is the 2018, right? So you can see the front of that. Now let's go to the 2015. Now look at that. Now you got, and see, the reason being is because the motor on the 15 was out front, I think it was higher up in the car, and it was more forward. So that made the weight more unbalanced more. So they had to put more aero. So you see what they did. They got dual canards on the front. I mean, you can see this is all a little different. This front face is different. And you can see the hood's a little different with the way they got the venting on the hood. So it's a lot different. And then look at the brakes. They're AP, but the calipers are on the front, not the rear. So, and that's like it is on the street car. The street car, the calipers are on the front part like this. So, but in the GT3 car on the 18, they moved it to the back. And again, they're trying to move weight is what they're doing. At the 18, what you can't see is they moved the balance of the engine. They moved it lower in the car and back farther. So that made the balance a lot better in the 18. This car is very fast in a straight line, but the problem is it doesn't handle near as good. It's like it's not. You wouldn't even think they're the same GTR. Well, they're not, but I mean the same family car. It's like another generation because they made a big upgrade when they went from the 15 to the 18. The balance is way better, aero, everything. Everything's just better on the 18. This car is a lot different. I hardly ever drive this car just because the 18 is so much better. But there, I just wanted to show you the differences. And of course, they do. What's cool in ACC is they do model it. As far as all the aero and, you get in this car and the other car and they drive completely different. They are not the same. So that's one thing I always liked about ACC. They took it that serious to make everything that exact as they could. So I always thought that was really good. Yeah, I show that for console players. All my setups, all my videos, I always show though I go over to setup like that because that's the only way a console player can get it. They can't take a link and download it in, and at least I've never been able to know how they can do it. So I always show each page of my setup so that way they can either pause the video and they got to manually put in the data, but I don't know how else they can do it. But at least they do it. They can, access to my setups that way. So I always do that. That's for the console players that are out there. But like you go, back to the Porsche, and like Imola. That's another thing on the Red Bull Ring. It's not recording your fastest laps there. I noticed that it's been a glitch ever since they came out. The update came out, but yeah, it does not record your fastest lap on any car, your best time or anything there for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. But like this, I mean, you go to dampers on this, and now look at this one. I mean, you got 0 zeros. So again, that's what Motec was telling me. And the Porsche, for the most part, most of the time is like that. I mean, sometimes I might have maybe 1 or 2 at the most, but most of the time it's the bump and fast bump are 0. So, and of course the Ferrari, just like John, most of the time the Ferrari is that way too. But again, a lot of it just depends on the car. So, I mean, you see on this setup, I got it 95%. So again, I run it a lot. I'm going to that with all of them just to try to keep the brakes out of the ABS. At least that's the idea. And I haven't seen any degrade in braking, so nothing. I mean, my braking distance is the same. Performance is the same or better. So I think it's, if I have a chance of staying out of the ABS, then that's better. Yep. Yeah, they're I think a lot of cars are that way, to be honest. They run different locks on both sides. I don't know why I think they do that in a lot of these cars for maybe I don't know why, but these aren't colored. They're the same. I think there's some other cars that are that way too, but I can't remember what they are. I don't remember if it's... No, not that one. No, not that one. They don't run it either. No, I guess it is just a Nissan. I thought for sure somebody else did that. I can't think of who it was. No, I didn't think the AMG did. But yeah, the Nissan does it on both the 18 and they got blue on one side and red on the other. My model's that way too, because I have a model of the GTR, the GT3 car. I had a hard time getting it too. I had to get it from out of the country. I couldn't find one. I really wanted one, and they had it of the 15. I couldn't find one of the 18, but I have one of the 2015 GTR, and my model has the same thing. It's got the different colored wheel nuts on both sides, on each side. So it's kind of different. I don't know why they did that, for whatever reason. Yeah, that's usually what I run. I mean, I run usually 1 or 2 on my ABS. So again, you're trying to push. That's another thing. You're running really low ABS, trying to get the performance. So that's another thing. It's easier to lock up. It's easier to get into the ABS because you're pushing so hard. As far as time you get so deep into it, so. I just think it's better off to cut some of the braking power out, because obviously, when you're in the heat of the situation, you're really smashing the brakes. At least I am. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody else is too. So, it's one of those things where you end up over braking and you're into the ABS all the time. So, especially when you have a lower setting. I think in the rain, I only have it at like 3. So, but usually in the dry, I'm at 1 or 2. So does everybody still everybody hear me okay and all those kinds of things? Like I said, I'm just making sure because I'm using that, the new OBS operating system. So I was just making sure everybody still has heard me and the sound's okay and the video is okay and all those kinds of things. So just wanted to make sure. Yeah, you might hear a little birdie in the background. One of my cats is playing with a toy, and I think it's got a little birdie sound. So I don't know. You might be picking that up. I don't know. They're out there behind me. Got there playing with a cat toy. Loud and clear. Oh, okay, cool. That's so great to hear. You wouldn't believe how long you guys have been with me. Know how long we've had this little problem with audio and driving me absolutely insane. So it's really nice just to hear that it's loud and clear. And again, so I appreciate it. I hope you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I thought it was in the game. Yeah, I don't know if you can pick it up or not, but it sounds like a little bird toy chirping back there or something. But yeah, I figured you might be hearing it, but because my mic, it picks up pretty much a lot of stuff. My wife, she was closing the drawers back over here, and I could hear that. So it picks up everything. She could open a pop can, and you would hear it. You could hear it over this mic. It picks up a lot of stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. They know a red or a black. They know which one that should be the same guy putting them. Well, I don't know. I'm just the same guy or not. I thought they used the same guy to go around on all of them, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I hope you all join me tomorrow. I have, I got the race, E-Seniors, at Imola, and of course tomorrow night I have the race at Nurburgring. So I got the two races tomorrow. So again, I'll leave the setup for this Nissan, the link in the description, and of course I will leave the Discord link in the description also. And I appreciate everybody's feedback. And like I said, hopefully it'll keep streaming and recording good and won't have any issues, at least no big issues. So I appreciate everybody stopping in just for this quick little stream. And I hope you all have a great rest of the night, and y'all take care. We'll talk to you later.